Morning, Christ community. I hope you are well. It's Tuesday morning, and you'll be receiving an email with this short video. And I wanted to just kind of complement the words of the email with a short face-to-face with you. I just wanted to let you know our elders met yesterday, and even before Governor Lee had made an announcement about lifting restrictions come the end of April, we had been discussing at the end of last week, getting together and praying toward what will be our pathway and our timeline as regards seeking to worship again, knowing that we're called to gather, knowing that we are due and ready to take the Lord's Supper, for as the early church gathered on the first day of the week, they did so to break bread together. And so we have decided that on Sunday, May 3rd, we'll resume in-person worship services at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. with pretty much tremendous restrictions, modifications of our worship service so as to inhibit touching and to enable us to still socially distance. We'll set up the sanctuary room with chairs spread apart, whether they're in spread apart rows or in clumps, we're going to determine that. Also, the outer room will be set up differently so folks can sit. We know that many of you are going to choose not to maybe come to worship yet because of being in an at-risk place in your own personal health or your family, perhaps young children, and you aren't comfortable yet, and we respect that. In fact, we honor that. And so in the email, I hope you've read the words carefully, just a call for the church to be set apart in how we interact with one another, in how we embody Christ, in how we incarnate love for one another, and how we listen and learn and hear and know the fears of others. We rejoice with each other. We all long to be together, and there are going to be limitations to it over the next months to come. And so there are going to be no children's activities. There's going to be no nursery. There's not going to be little sprouts during the time in which I preach. We're going to, again, adapt, modify our giving of our offerings, our taking of the Lord's Supper. But we believe that we're called to worship and we're called to gather. And we also believe, as Peter has taught us in 1 Peter chapter 2, that we're called to submit to the governing authorities that God himself has placed over us. We also believe with Jeremiah that we're called to seek the welfare of the community around us. And so we want to do this with health consciousness, with community love, again, honoring the requests given to us by the CDC, by our government, to still socially distance and be wise. We're aware that some feel incredible anxiety perhaps about this decision. There are others that feel like we shouldn't have been prohibited or chose not to worship at all. So here's my request to you. Would you ask for God's countenance to exude through you to others in all of your interactions with regards the church being the church, with regards worship, with regards engagement? I want to thank you. I want to thank you. I believe that in this time our church has experienced deeper maturity in our homes, growth among the body, and I believe that as we enter into maybe an awkward re-entry, we have an opportunity to experience life in Christ that we never have before as his body. So please read the email carefully. Look for more communication next week. We will do in-home worship this upcoming Lord's Day. And then on Sunday, May 3rd, our intention, Lord willing, is to be in person at 9 and 11. No overlap hour. We will sanitize the whole first floor between the two services. You'll receive more direct instructions next week. But please receive this email with the spirit of love and leadership sent by your elders as under shepherds of Christ, the chief shepherd. And I hope you receive it with that intention. Love you. Hope you're having a good Tuesday, and you will have a week in which you see God's blessing as you sojourn, as you exile in this place. And I look forward to seeing you in person soonest as the Lord wills. Love you.